We are live. Dude, retweet the shit so we can maybe get some fellow Aussies in this thing.
There won't be any Aussies. They'll all be sleeping. But I'll retweet it.
Okay.
Oh fuck, we're on Twitter. Oh
We're on
shit, I'm
Twitter
watching
and
myself on
YouTube.
Twitter. I've never done one of these. I don't think like on Twitter, or maybe I
Oh,
have.
have you done one on YouTube? Or would we always just be on like
Yeah,
Zoom and then doing
I've
this?
done it when we were on YouTube. I definitely haven't done it on Twitter. I don't think. How do I retweet it? I don't even know what's going on. Oh
Are
wait,
you on
hang on.
desktop?
Oh, I got it. I got it. I got it.
Okay.
I'll retweet it. Repost. There you go.
Sweet. Let me click like quote with like the YouTube link, I guess. No, it'd probably be good. Do you use Twitter for desktop usually? Or your phone?
What do you mean? Like, do I use Twitter on the laptop or?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
me too. And Discord. I've been doing that a lot. I've been deleting Twitter on my phone recently just because like I'm like low-key like a fiend with that shit sometimes. Oh shit, I just fucking opened up Zoom. Oh shit. Hold up. Yo, can you still hear me?
I need Twitter on the phone for the lineup news.
Oh yeah, that's facts. Okay, how many people do we got in here? 37. Okay, so I don't think we should really just like wait too
37.
long. Yeah, once we get to 50, let's go. And Zoom, my
Good.
Zoom is updating for some reason.
I mean,
Accidentally.
I thought we'd have less. It's a terrible time for Aussies and a terrible time for Americans. I guess it's like early morning.
But then
There's
two of
some
us.
people who like to gamble or something like that.
Yeah, dude, and it's like New Year's for in America, bro. Like
Oh
like
yeah.
everyone's probably
Happy New
home.
Year's to everyone watching or listening.
Hey, Ozzy, this is the year, or this is when the variance swings. I'm telling you,
I've
mate.
started to swing a little bit.
You got, dude. I had some good yesterday for sure. You have some good ones?
No.
Oh no, you actually
Uh,
didn't. The Ty Jerome one was
no,
bullshit.
I didn't. That's okay. One day. I mean, it has the last couple of weeks. Not like good variants, but just like fucking things happening as they should for the most part, you know?
Yeah, just normal. I had Randall.
Funny.
Randall had like, dude, I got so lucky on Randall yesterday. I'm not gonna lie. He had like a rebound like where it looked like it was like I think like it looked like it was like a steal instead like an like the Thunder got a defensive rebound and then he stole it, but then they gave him an offensive rebound for it, and he had 6 assists in like
Okay.
7 minutes. I mean, he did have a fair bit of potentials, but I know it was definitely
Okay.
lucky. So Bronny said,
Yeah.
"Holy no sleep lab session." I know, dude. Picks for the people. How we doing? I believe that's Shoto, my boy. Okay,
The stats, people don't know what they're doing.
the what? No, they don't. They really
That
don't.
that Jalen Brunson bet I lost for the assist, that was fucked.
8 potentials and 9 assists, baby. That's actually such bullshit.
Yeah, that was tough. That was a tough one to lose, but nah, it's okay.
Okay, Ozzy, give us a play. Let's start it off with a play that you know a good
Um,
scrumptious under that the fiends will surely love.
yeah. So for anyone here that hasn't, I'm sure maybe a couple have seen the way I bet before. Um, a lot of unders. Although starting to do a lot more of them recently. Weren't doing enough at the start of the year, but a lot of unders. Uh, you're on the Pels game. Click on Tyler Hero.
Okay, hold up. I'm putting this here. I think that looks like a little that looks clean with the 2-person overlay. Yeah, look at
Yeah,
the
that does
screen.
look good.
Okay, sweet.
I don't even know how you're doing all this sort of stuff.
Pelicans game.
Yeah.
Okay, we're
Click
on
on
that
Tyler
one.
Hero.
Yep.
To win a unit, I've got Hero under 25 and a half points. Still on DraftKings at minus 115. That's all right. I play it down to minus 130. So ESPN bet Caesars, all good there. Um, Butler's back here. So he's not on the injury report, which means he's playing. So this line's just too high with Butler to start off with. But also it's a bad matchup. New Orleans, really aggressive against the pick and roll. They play at the level. Um, if you take out the game against OKC, the most recent one, where Butler, he got injured after 6 minutes, so it's not really like a no Jimmy Butler game. But Hero's under in 12 of 19 games without Butler. Always a blowout chance when New Orleans are in the game as well. It's at Miami. Fair few outs there. This line should be like 23.5 or 22.5. That's what it was with Butler before, and they've got it at 25 and a half, like which is higher than the lines he's been getting with no Butler. Plus, this is a bad matchup, so I just don't understand the 25 and a half number.
Yeah, very reliant on pick and roll handler. Yeah, no. And then just like look at the graph, right? 23.7 points per game with Butler. I'm going to put down the line a little bit. So if even at 23 and a half, he still is under more than not, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this line like 100% should be if it's like, yeah, with how they defend pick and roll handlers, you can even make an argument that the line should be 22 and a half, 23 and a half for what you said. I don't think there's too much to over explain here, dude. I just think that's a really good bet. And that line's
it doesn't make sense that it's 25 and a half if it's been 22.5, 23.5 without him coming back doesn't equal hero scores more. It actually equals the opposite.
Yeah.
And also bad matchup. So yeah, there isn't much to explain with that one. I just reckon it's a bit of the line's wrong.
I think here, let's take away with Jimmy Butler. That this line is just there because I mean the Pelicans are bad in defensive rating, obviously, and they're 29th, but like play types are different because of how Misi's up at the level. And then that's just like he had a couple of good games without Jimmy Butler. So we're putting his line high because of recency, even though Jimmy's back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's actually that's a great bet. 25 and a half with Bam and Jimmy. Like what the hell? Dude, I feel like I don't think I've ever seen that before personally.
No, it doesn't really make sense.
So that just means
because it was Sengun and Drop and Atlanta who I don't think Dyson played that game. So it was the Hawks without Dyson, and I mean that's just a really good matchup.
It was Vít Krejci's elite point of attack defense.
Vít Krejci. Hawks fans don't like him. I've seen it on Twitter. It's pretty funny.
I don't know why. Wolves fans were like begging Vít Krejci and Clint Capella salary dump for Julius Randle a couple weeks ago.
That's rough. He's not that bad. He's looked better as of late, Randall, with the new lineup you're playing with. I like it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's go to your next bet, Liam. I'll just get your three plays right away, and then we can start looking at the board because I can't multitask.
Go to the Brooklyn game. Brooklyn versus Toronto.
Oh, I should be putting the banners up. Okay. There you go.
Oh, you spoiled it. My bet's spoiled.
The podcast viewers, the hungover folks aren't spoiled.
Okay. So, no Cam Thomas here, no Dennis Schroeder here, but D'Angelo Russell is playing. So, Cam Johnson averages 19.92 points per game per 34 minutes, which is what I project him to play here in terms of minutes. With Thomas and Schroeder off the floor, he actually only averages 1.1 more field goal attempts per 36. And that's a big sample size of that. There's like a couple hundred minutes. So, nice sample size of that. So, the 19.92 per 34 volume isn't really increasing without Schroeder and Thomas. And it sort of makes sense because Cam Johnson, like, you're not running him in pick and rolls and stuff. He's getting a lot of his stuff in the flow of the offense. With Russell now in the fold, we all know D'Angelo Russell. He can hog volume, hog ISOs, takes touches away. He's actually similar to Cam Thomas in a way with how much he demands the ball. So I don't even know if he'll start, but he'll definitely overlap some minutes with Cam Johnson for sure. Johnson's actually yet to have 16 or more field goal attempts in a game that Schroeder and Thomas have missed, so you can filter that there. He's gone over in, I think, 2 of the 6. No, yeah. So he's only gone over in 2 of the 6. And if you look at that, like, it's super fucking efficient. And he's got to so that game against the Raptors, he got to the line 12 times, which is just an anomaly for him. Like, that's not his game.
Yeah.
Volume's been pretty low. Good spot up defense as well, the Raptors with Jakob Poeltl, allowing the 7th fewest catch and shoot field goal attempts on the season. Reason for it is they just funnel everything towards Jakob, who they trust to defend one-on-one. No, sorry, they trust to defend the rim, and he's a good rim protector. Uh, so this is sort of like, I think his volume will be like around 14, 15, 16 field goal attempts. So for him to go over with that, he has to be efficient for this sort of line, for a 22 and a half line. And also the wrinkle of D'Angelo Russell's in the offense now. We don't know what it's going to look like. So yeah, and it can only be positive for us. Like Russell being there won't mean more Cam Johnson shots.
Yeah, for sure. I think another edge that you might have here is that, so I know I'm just going to take away the filters real quick. This game against the Magic, I know he left early with an injury, and obviously this dude's on the trade block, and obviously the Nets aren't trying to win games, right? They're a tanking team. So your most valuable trade asset by far just left early with injury last game. You're not trying to win. Like, I could see like random bullshit minutes, you know?
Yeah.
So like I think like your 34 projection, like if you like look at the box score and Cam Johnson played 27 minutes just like randomly, like I feel like that's like totally in the cards.
Yeah, that wouldn't be surprising. Plus, it's an under. You got out injuries, blowouts, all that sort of stuff. So like 34, sort of like a ceiling, you know?
Yeah, and that's what you got to do when you're projecting, right? You got to try to
sure.
make it like a worst case scenario, and then see if if you still think you have an edge. And I feel like a lot of people do the exact opposite on Twitter, especially when they're trying to like sell people on a write up. Try to make it like best case scenario, like with like 34 plus minutes and 15 plus shots or something. Like both those are like hard markers to get to and shit. So
exactly.
Yeah, no, this
no, but it's just like Russell being there as well. It's an unknown, but it's an unknown in the positive for us because I don't know.
Well, people think of D'Lo as a bum.
Happen.
People just think of D'Lo as a bum because he was on the Lakers and he had bad moments and shit, dude. He'll probably be like especially without Cam Thomas, he'll probably put up like similar numbers to Cam Thomas.
He will. He'll take. I think he'll take a heap of shots.
Like his minutes, like I guess it's kind of risky in the first game, but like 16 and a half feels like awfully low.
Yeah.
Especially without Cam Thomas. So like Ben Simmons is going to take his like 4 shots. Claxton's going to take his 5 shots.
It does feel low, but I wouldn't be surprised if he plays like 20 minutes off the bench or 22, 23 minutes off the bench.
Yeah, because Cam Thomas came off the bench last game, and that's just like an injury absence, and he's like their franchise player. So
yeah.
Okay, sweet. Let's move on to the next one.
Last one, and over for the thrill seekers. I hate overs now, I'm not gonna lie. You got it up, you spelled it again. Okay. Jalen Johnson over 19.5 points. So he averages 19.9 points per game on the season in 36.5 minutes. That's the range I've got him in here. If it stays competitive, he'll probably push past that. This is like, I think this is actually literally the perfect matchup for him. Like, if I could pick Jalen Johnson overs against any team in the league, it'd be Denver.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for it is, one, scores most of his stuff at the rim. Obviously, we all know Jokic. He doesn't protect the rim well. That's not his game. Without Aaron Gordon, who's still out, who the fuck on Denver has the size to stop him from getting anything he wants at the rim? So that's sort of like a no analysis sort of part of it. But I think he's just going to be able to crush in his 1v1 matchup all game. Going into it more as well, Jokic will come to the level against Trey, force the ball out of Trey's hands, which will open up more opportunities for Jalen Johnson. Heap of 4v3 situations on the floor. In games with Trey against teams who rank 20th to 30th at allowing points in the paint, Johnson is over this line in 8 of 12 games. What else was I going to say? Denver allows the 6th most points in the paint. Last game without Aaron Gordon, who they play against? Oh, it was the Cavs. The Cavs eating the paint, so don't worry about that. But I was going to say they gave up like 56 points in the paint last game, or last 3 games, or something like that, which is really bad. This is sort of, so there are numbers to back it up, but it's also sort of a bet of like, I just like look at this game and think, who the fuck is stopping Jalen Johnson from getting into the paint whenever he wants, especially with the way they'll guard Trey. Yeah, that's my thoughts on this one.
Dude, I think this is actually like I totally agree with this too, because Denver's actually like a terrible defense, dude. Like really bad in transition, spot up. Obviously, the spot up aspect is just because of like yeah, Trey's not going to have good volume because of where Jokic will play at the level in the half court,
Yeah,
and obviously like
they're really good against the pick and roll
mhm,
because of the way Jokic guards.
yep. Yep, and then pick and roll man too. I think that like JJ and Trey pick and roll, I think could be absolute money. Like I think that could just be something that they go to. Like it would make sense. You know, I mean, obviously you kind of need a floor spacer, and like in the Capella minutes, you won't be able to do that. But in like the Nance minutes or Okongwu minutes, um,
Yeah.
I think that could be like a button that they hit. Like I can, and I agree with that too, especially considering that they're not starting Peyton Watson like in like the minutes when like Russ is at the four or whoever the hell they're MPJ. Like if MPJ is guarding him, dude, it's gonna get ugly.
Yeah,
So
that's why I think we'll guard him as well. Pretty
yeah,
sure
I
because it
mean
won't be Russ, Murray, Braun. None of them have the size. It has to be Porter Jr. So
yeah,
I just think he's like going to be able to eat in one on one.
I do too. Yeah, man. This really is a perfect matchup. At 19 and a half, like we got the filter, bottom 10 points in the paint. Denver is 26th. But even just like straight up, like you don't even need to like it's a pretty low line to begin with. He started off the year kind of cold, the first 3 games. Since then,
Yeah, they are. I bet him most improved at the start of the season, which is looking good as
yeah.
well. But
Look at
the
with
first three
Trey.
games I was sort of worried, and then there was a press conference with Snyder where he said we have to run more stuff for him. He's super talented, and then
Yeah.
since then, like that's literally what you've got on the screen right now.
I mean, look at this. Last 26 games of Trey, 69.2% hit rate, 21.2 points per game. He ends at 20 a lot. So I think you're getting like a really good number at 19 and a half. And it's 19 and a half everywhere. So
Yeah, it's
widely
widely
available.
available.
Yeah, dude, this is a great bet. I actually really like this. I'm actually gonna tail this. Okay, that's gonna be my first play of the day. Do you want a quick yap for like a couple more, like a minute about this play more?
Yeah, I can yap about I'll yap about Trey. Like not only this, but the way they'll defend Trey with Jokic coming up to the level means that Johnson will get even more touches just as a result of Trey being forced to give up the ball. And I actually looked towards buying Trey's assists, but 12 and a half is way too high. Um, yeah, this is like for me to play overs now. Most of the time, I have to feel like fuck, like this has to be like I don't know. It just has to be. I have to be super confident in it to play an over now. And this is one where I looked at the board and I have this at 21.5. So I had to play 19.5. I just think
Yeah,
it's literally the perfect matchup because not only is it the paint thing, like he's going to be able to eat, but the Trey giving the ball up as well lowers Trey's volume, and he'll just benefit from that. I think he'll be able to, yeah, he'll just get anything he wants.
dude. And Trey, his volume. I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't know, like what he really isn't like even like a scorer like that anymore.
He's injured,
Yeah, with that Achilles thing.
yeah. I don't know if you've noticed, but he doesn't really do his floater now. He can't get much lift on it.
Yeah, dude. The Nuggets are such like a. I think I have like a bet every time the Nuggets play like against them because their defensive scheme is just insanely predictable.
Yeah, well, they're forced for Jokic to play aggressively, which just opens up the floor for others.
Okay, sorry. I'm sending it in right now to my Discord. Do you
I'll
want to
put it in.
do you have like any like prop you looked at and you're like I kind of lean this way, just like another like
Any
one maybe
leans? For this game or any game?
any game.
Uh, Scroll up a tab. I don't want to click off on my tab just in case my thing
Okay,
freezes because my laptop's shit out.
what game do you want me to click on?
Um, Go to the Dallas Houston game.
Okay, and there's
Um, Initially,
oh, actually shit.
I liked Dinwiddie under 5.5 assists. Uh, I looked into it a bit more and I didn't love it as much, but the way Houston defends when he's in the pick and roll, Sengun's going to be in drop. But the thing I didn't like, I watched a bit of tape back tonight, and they run a heap of stuff where it's Dinwiddie and Kyrie, and it's like Dinwiddie ball handler, and they're running Kyrie off screens and stuff, which just leads to assist chances. And it doesn't matter what sort of defense you're playing. that will lead to assist chances, which put me off the Dinwiddie under 5.5 assists. Plus, it was really juiced as well. But yeah, that's like honestly, I didn't have a shit ton of leans tonight because there's a fair bit of injury news to play out. Like Jalen Brunson's questionable. That literally affects the whole game. Jordan Poole's questionable. That affects the whole all Washington props. Um, what else is there? There's a fair few guys who are questionable who like affects everything. Let me get it up. Um, Orlando, Detroit. That no one's questionable there. I lean Cade over points, but didn't love it enough to play it at all. Also
Yeah.
leaned Ivy under 3.5 assists, but
Okay.
didn't love it enough to play that.
Let's go to, let's see, Pelicans Heat. Is there any? Okay. I want to see Utah Knicks. Okay. So Utah's a team I like to pick on personally. I'm gonna quick open up a new tab. NBA player. Utah's a very easy team, dude. Josh Hart, I think Josh Hart points because Josh Hart or PA maybe. Josh Hart is such a beast in transition. Like he's very reliant on that. Just transition. I'm gonna go to the Knicks.
Look at their chart. The Utah chart for their like opposition defense zones.
Dude, they're
Just
so
all
bad.
fucking green.
They're so fucking bad. It's actually pathetic. Okay, I'm about to quick take away this screen for a little bit. Liam, I don't know if you do this, but this is what I've been doing. So if I like know this is a team that's like terrible and like the worst in one aspect, I'll go to this. I'll go to players, play types, transition for obviously because we're looking at Utah, and then team, New York Knicks, NYK, and then just go to frequency. Yep, Josh Hart by far. And then OG. This could be a good OG get right spot. What's OG's line at? Oh, 16 and a half. Damn. Is anyone out? No, McCall, Brunson.
Well, Brunson's questionable, so I feel like if he plays, it'll stay the same. If he misses, it'll drop maybe.
Yeah.
Because Cat's at 26.5, which indicates a Brunson outgame. So if
Yeah.
you're going to bet an over, it's probably smart to wait just in case.
You mean not wait if you're gonna bet an over?
No, but I think it's with Brunson already out. These lines,
Well,
like Cat doesn't have a 26. Like Cat's got a 26.5 line right now. Where if Brunson plays, that's going to be like 23 and a half, 24 and a half.
yeah, you think against yeah, but Utah, they might also be factoring in Utah's dead last in defensive rating. You know,
You
I
reckon?
don't think
I
that
don't know.
and also Cat. I actually really don't like Cat here just because Cat has like the lowest transition frequency on the team.
I think it's factoring in Brunson missing.
I think that it's just going to be a
Bridges
big
at 18.5.
28 and a half PRA for Josh. I really like Josh, but fuck, he's coming off of a great game. I hate doing that shit.
Yeah.
OG. Oh
You
man.
bang like 3 straight threes in that game in the space of a minute.
I really like OG stuff. I'm not gonna lie. 15 and a half.
Yeah, he's been
OG.
playing poor as well.
He has, but I think that's actually good. Utah, I know
Yeah,
Utah allows the highest
yeah,
catch
that's a
and
good
shoot
thing.
frequency as well. And
Mm-hmm.
bad in transition. OG's really good in transition. He actually averages the most points per game in transition. He's super efficient, but just a good transition player. Him, McCall, Josh, all these guys. Josh, I think that Josh's assist can check out. And that's one that you could maybe 5.5. Jeez, buddy. Yeah, this might be actually maybe not. Let's see, even like with Brunson, because Josh just like pushes in transit. He gets so many assists in transition. I guess yeah, he has a positive hit rate. So this I don't think this is a Brunson line, but yeah, Josh Hart stuff makes sense for sure. 14 potentials last game, 14. And let's see, I know Utah kind of switches a lot. Walker Kessler under rebounds makes sense as well, I think. What's this at? 10 and a half. What do you think about Walker Kessler? Oh, there's 11 and a half, insanely juiced. But what do you think about like a Walker Kessler under rebounds, just like against Cat?
You know my stance on rebound props. I can't really give any like accurate in like uh I can't really give a take on this, to be honest. Like, I'm not good at betting them. I don't bet them.
He's a lock to guard Cat though, bro. And the Knicks allow the second fewest
Yeah.
rebounds.
No, yeah, I mean, it sounds good in theory. It does.
Yeah. 10.5. I
10 rebounds on 20 rebound chances against them last time. I feel like is that
I
low
wish
conversion? I don't know.
this 11.5 line would be money. It's -150, best price. I guess MGM and Fliff have a better price.
Really?
Yeah.
Who would have?
Okay, so two leans that I'm probably going to end up choosing from. I don't know if it's going to be on stream or not, but I really like Josh Hart stuff, overs, OG overs, and then like a Kessler under rebounds. I think could make a ton of sense, to be honest. And also Cat under rebounds, because I'm not going to lie, I bet an Embiid over rebounds against what's it called, against Utah, or PRA over. Walker Kessler like crashes the fuck out of the O glass. And like actually the whole Utah team does, and that's why they're so bad in transition. Like, yeah, Utah allows the third fewest rebounds, which is like you wouldn't like really expect that, you know?
Yeah.
So that's another lean. Cat under rebounds makes sense to me. Even though like the hit rate's pretty good and the season long average is pretty good. Okay. Was there what other team do you like to pick on with like a distinct scheme? Oh, Orlando, Detroit. Let's go there. Have you gave this game a look?
Orlando, Detroit. I did give the game a bit of a look. Uh, Nothing really. I mean, Cade face value, I thought, fuck, against 22.5 against Magic's pick and roll defense. But when you dive into the numbers, they're actually really good against the pick and roll, and they don't allow many pull ups. Um, Obviously, a really bad spot up game, but I feel like they've sort of factored that in with Hardaway's line.
Yeah.
Um,
Like Beasley's too.
yeah, but Malik Beasley, like he is a spot up guy, but they just run him off screens, and it doesn't really matter how. Like the only way you're stopping Malik Beasley getting volume is if you're coming to the level off screens, which Orlando won't do. So
Mm-hmm.
um, he'll still get volume here. Just a question with him if he fucking shoots good or not, and he's been shooting good recently. So
Yeah.
um,
Unfortunately, Hardaway's line has literally like zero value. Like this is a game where you probably
yeah,
won't touch the ball much. Sometimes like I think that like even like assist unders have value against like spot up bad. There's teams that don't allow spot ups because they're just like not touching the ball, you know?
yeah. And I
So
looked at that for Cade, and I was hoping it was 9.5, but it's 8.5.
oh shit. So these lines are pretty sharp, to be fair.
Yeah, there was some juice actually on FanDuel. It's really juiced to the over at 8.5. So maybe in the morning that pushes up because you got some guys being like, oh, look at that, he hits that in a lot of games. But
I
yeah,
think
I'll take a look at
Sug
that in the
stuff
morning.
Sug stuff makes sense in my opinion. Uh
Yeah,
like I totally get he's had some absolute stinkers. He's gotten like hurt in like a couple of these games. Like against OKC, against
yeah,
Brooklyn. I
yeah.
guess just like filter
Against
those out.
Brooklyn,
Like 20
I
plus
bet him
minutes.
against the Knicks on. If you look at that December 16th game, I got a 19.5 points line for him
Oh, okay.
on Cross
Yeah.
Madness, and look what he did.
I'm sorry, bro. 4 for 19.
Yeah, it's fucked. I mean, that's just like
That's
that's
like
great.
you still made a good bet, bro, you know?
Yeah, but and then it sort of because then you look at like the next game he gets injured against the Thunder, and then against Miami in a tough matchup, you're like, oh fuck, he shot 48% this game. Like, why couldn't you do that for me? Same matchup against the Knicks, he played 26 minutes, scored 27 points. The problem is like the value's gone because his line for those games was 21.5.
Yeah.
So it's not
I
worth
think
betting, but yeah, it's not.
I think at this price, 4.5 assists. Okay, I get like he only had this was a blowout loss against the Knicks. The Heat, I guess you'd want the potential numbers to be better. Celtics don't allow shit assists. He had 13 potentials against the Knicks, 13 against the Bucks, and only one assist. 4.5, dude. I mean, like look at this real quick. Let's go to like Goga, and then points. Like pick and roll, man, they're pretty bad against that. I guess it's not like a crazy edge or anything. What are like overall assists allowed for the Okay, 11th fewest. Okay, I thought that they were a better like assist matchup against the pick and roll man. Yeah, I mean, Sugg stuff kind of makes sense. Yeah, Kate. I think the Pistons unders all are like completely fair lines, unfortunately.
Yeah. Khan in the chat said take a look at Asar Thompson PRA.
Okay. Asar Thompson, 11 and a half. He got up to 24 minutes. He's a guy who's like definitely started off on a minute restriction. Then he had some really shitty minutes. His minutes are really weird.
I yeah. I I can't get it in.
Yeah,
First of all, I've got him projected at 20 minutes, so I haven't done the calculations for his PRA per 20, but um, this would not be the matchup I'd bet him against the Magic.
I agree. Man,
He's
Tobias.
overrated.
I think that Tobias actually might have a little bit of value, to be honest, just because the Magic switch so much.
Yeah,
Tobias is actually like pretty good at punishing in, I guess, like post up isolation situations, and his line's like piss low.
yeah.
Like
It
he's
just
been,
sucks that he's been so shit.
but that's not always a bad thing, you know. It's like,
But I don't like it when it's shit in really good matchups for him. That's when it's a bad thing.
yeah,
He has to have like he should be having more than 6 field goal attempts in 24 minutes against Denver.
hmm yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's actually ridiculous. And his minutes have been
That
terrible.
doesn't even make sense.
24. So I guess we could filter it. Let's see, what's his hit rate when he plays like less than 32 minutes? Because that seems what he's trending to. He was good to start. Still solid overall. PRA 17 and a half, bro. Tobias can't get 18 PRA on that big ass contract of his. Yeah, I don't know.
Crazy.
I guess I don't really have. Yeah, let's move on to a next game. You said what was there a lot of injuries with?
Uh, there was the Bulls Wizards is Levine's questionable and Poole's questionable, which that changes literally everything with those teams. So
Yeah,
it's sort of hard to bet anything there.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Also, the Raptors, RJ is questionable and someone else is questionable, maybe like Grady Dick or something like that.
Okay. So one thing I like Jabari Smith stuff off rip. 19 and a half PRA. I think that's pretty low because Amen Thompson's out. I know Tari Eason's been out.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about what happened.
I guess Tari Eason's a game time decision, but Amen Thompson, no, Amen's pretty big for his minutes for Jabari.
Mm-hmm.
The starters have just been playing like really big minutes in general because Houston doesn't trust like anyone on their bench really.
Yeah, they don't have. Oh no, that's a lie. They do have like that. They have two really good guys off the bench in Tari and Armin, but after that, you don't trust Jock Landale, you don't trust Stephen Adams right now, you don't trust Reed Shepherd,
Yeah,
Cam Whitmore, you don't trust him.
yeah, I agree. Sengun's been playing a lot. What is Dallas's defensive scheme? I know they're okay. Dallas is pretty good against a pick and roll man, I guess. What about the pick and roll ball handler? I remember. I think I remember they were good to start the year, so they're pretty good. 10th. They're really good in transition defense, which I don't love this matchup for Green.
Yeah, changes
Also,
with does change with Luca out as well.
yeah. So
Also, Derek
Kyrie,
Lively's questionable, which does change everything because he's a much better defensive big than Gafford.
yep, for sure. So one thing about Dinwiddie, I realized, dude, Dinwiddie just is like he plays super confident, like when he's like given a good role.
He does. This is a good matchup for him. I was for points, sorry. I was looking at 15 and a half points. I didn't love the per numbers with Kyrie,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I think he'll get like 12, 13, 14 shots here. But and I always preach volume is king, but he's inefficient and he has been inefficient for
Um,
a while now. So
Clay unders
yeah,
make a
I
ton of
definitely lean
sense.
over his points.
Clay just second in spot up, first against off ball screens. Like Houston just goes all out to like limit the 3-point line.
Yeah. I do like Clay unders.
What's Clay's under? Okay, 2.5 threes, 3.5 threes. But dude, like, so bro, his line's 15.5. I guess at some places. Um, dude, if he needs like 4 threes usually to go over like 16 points, you know?
Mm. No, I definitely lean under on 15.5.
Yeah. I think that's a decent look. PJ was awesome, dude. Me and you were both on that PJ, dude. He was like 4 for
I was
4.
on that. That was fun.
I think he cashed in the first quarter. That was very easy.
Yeah, I think
He didn't even really
I
have a
think
good
yeah.
shooting. Or he was pretty good, but like not even really crazy shooting splits or anything. Just got a
It's just because he started so hot. That's why.
yeah. So Kyrie will be able to ISO at will. What's his assists? 5.5 juice to the under. His assists have been really bad even without Luca.
Do you know what I noticed as well? They actually with Dinwiddie, they play Kyrie off ball.
Yeah,
So they run stuff for him to finish plays, which is good for his scoring, bad for his assists.
yeah. See,
And
without
it's another
Luca,
reason I don't like Dinwiddie's under assists because he just gets a heap of assist chances playing with Kyrie just from like they run screens and stuff like that.
okay. What's he have? 5.5. Yeah, Dinwiddie. It is a solid matchup for him for sure. Lively. I don't know why Lively missed the game. He'll be on
Um,
Sangoon.
I'll tell you.
Hold up, let's see. Is there any
Hold
like
on.
funnels? Sacramento puts the bonus at the level? So I had this spot circled. What's it at? What's it at? Fuck. Is Embiid out? Embiid is
Embiid's
out.
out.
I really like Paul George stuff here. He's been so bad, but without Embiid, I think this is a great matchup for him. Um,
8.5.
it would have been a better matchup if Embiid was in
If
and we got a
Embiid.
really low line. I think
Yeah.
just because of the spot up stuff, and he was.
Yep.
Uh, I think that this might be a big Paul George game, just buy low almost. That was just what my gut was telling me. I had that spot circled though, man. Maxi is
I'm actually at the point with Paul George when betting him as well, where I'm sort like I try to forget his name's Paul George because I actually don't think he's Paul George now.
yeah,
Like I don't, he doesn't, he can't get to his spot as easy, and he can't finish at the rim anywhere close to what he used to be able to. So, um, but because his name's Paul George, he should get, he'll get players run for him and usage and shit like that.
yeah, for sure. And he'll play big minutes. Let's see
Yeah, he will.
without Joel. Without
Shoto asked, was eyeing De Silva points, but why the fuck would I bet on De Silva? That's a good point.
I don't think Detroit's like a
I find him a sort of hard guy to bet on because he doesn't really get anything run for him. He just gets everything in the flow of the offense. And those
Mhm.
sort of guys, I mean, they're good against teams that will scheme aggressively against the ball dominant players. I don't think Detroit will do that. So I don't have a lean on that.
Yeah. I actually do really like Paul George stuff, dude. I mean, I don't know what his assists are at, 4.5. I think this is a look at the Shilliam. 4.5 assists. Kings, I mean, they allow so much spot up stuff and all that. PG will be pretty on
Yeah,
ball.
that's a good number.
Look at 11
I do
potentials,
like
10
4.5.
potentials, 14 potentials, 11. He's without Embiid, 40 plus minutes. I guess we could do with Maxi too. Yeah, same shit pretty much. And he 9
Yeah,
assists against
and yeah.
Orlando. Let's see, very juiced other places, but I kind of just like PRA stuff, man. I think it's a great buy low. PG's probably also just like a little bit uncomfortable playing at such like a low usage role, dude, with Embiid and stuff. Like he's not used to
Yeah.
that shit at all.
But
And
sorry for
they've
yawn.
had such a little
But
time to
he,
acclimate.
but the only thing I'd say about that, like you take like apart from a couple games, most of the games without Embiid where he's had higher usage, he's still been really inefficient, which I don't know. Like even with Embiid, like there's games where he's playing and against Utah the other day, and he just didn't shoot well.
Yeah.
And I know that's a one-off game, but like it's sort of a trend. I
Yeah.
think he's just going to be an inefficient guy for a while now with the sort of shots he takes.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'm gonna play it, Liam. This is my reasoning. I think that no Embiid, he's he's gonna be I think that he's just way more comfortable in this role. He was and he hasn't gotten hurt in a while. He's been playing big minutes. With Mac, like he was kind of hitting stride. He had some like really good games, right? Like 37 minutes in close
Yeah, he played
games.
well against Charlotte from memory once.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
twice.
33 PRA or 33 points here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna play this one. I think that this is too low. Kings are just a terrible defense, I guess. 30th in spot up.
Yeah.
Roll handler. Kings are on really bad defense. So I think that this line's too short. I think it's a little bit skewed. I'm gonna let this one rip. If you wanna just give a little bit of input, I mean, obviously you kind of did, but
no, I was just gonna say like when I don't like the Kings color commentator. I just find her pretty annoying. That's all I've got to say. That's all I think of when I think of the Kings. And it's not because she's a woman. It's because she's one of those like color commentators. And there's men who do this as well who very biased and complain about every ref call. That's all I've got to add to that.
Dude, that was OKC last night.
Yeah, actually, they do. They got a color guy that's pretty annoying. They just complain.
Dude, OKC, dude, they foul so fucking much. Like they like play football. Dude, the Wolves had 23 turnovers last night. That shit was ridiculous.
Yeah, and their ball pressure is super high as well. So
I mean, they play insanely hard. Like they kind of. I mean, as a basketball fan, like it's annoying as shit when it's happening to your team, but like you wish that your players, you wish that every one of your players played that hard for sure.
My SJ MVP ticket looks good. Looks better by the game.
He is MVP in my opinion. I mean,
I think yeah, I think he's favorite right now, which is good.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, if you guys didn't know, if it wasn't clear, Paul George over 30.5 PRA minus 110 DK. Oh shit! And I always do this shit, and I always forget. You should have let me know, Liam. I always forget to
unfreeze the screen.
Yeah,
I didn't know if you were like trying to do it on purpose. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Okay,
also, Khan said Paul George's assists take the biggest uptick when Embiid is out. Yeah, 8.7 assists per 100.
Yeah, well, I have assists in there, PRA. I just think, okay, like this is what I'm kind of thinking. Like he's gonna play 36 minutes, assuming this game stays close. This game should stay close. I think that Sacramento's too bad to blow out a team at this point. Philly's not good enough to blow out. Like game should stay close, I'm assuming. Yeah, with 28 minutes with Maxey without Embiid, had some pretty good games. He only played. This was like one of his earliest games of the year. Shot poorly.
I actually remember that game. I reckon he got like 1 PRA in the last 12 minutes, and everyone was on it, and everyone was pissed. I do remember that. Also, yeah, Liam said Sabonis rebound line 15.5 seems very high. Question mark. That's for you, Ty. I can't.
It does.
Actually, the only thing I'll say, if Embiid misses and Drummond's questionable, I feel like Sabonis would just dominate Yabusele on the boards.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. The one thing though, Yabusele is very like thick. He's like thick as hell.
Thick, isn't he?
He is badass.
He's a very solid person.
I feel like he'd be really good at boxing out, at least like on the offensive glass. But yeah, on the defensive glass, he could probably just rebound at will. Like, and Yabusele probably crashes the offensive glass too. He just seems like that type of player. One thing with Yabusele is that I think they'll be a very switch heavy, if not like at the level. Like they won't be a drop coverage team at all, which I've been picking on Embiid, guards against Embiid when he plays, because he just like can't move, bro, and he plays drop. So I guess if it turns into isolation, but I would assume it would mostly be show and recover. So at the level, I think that maybe you could talk yourself into some Fox under stuff just against Philly. But
Yabusele a lot of dunkers spot as well, by the way.
He what?
He's in the dunkers spot a lot.
Okay.
Why does he have the dunkers? Hey.
Liam, though, I completely agree. Like this is 15.5. Like he's not fucking Dennis Rodman or like the best rebounder of all time. Like that's just like an under. Yeah, Maxey assists without Embiid are not good, because I played Chris Middleton assist yesterday, and like with Giannis in, like Giannis is just such an easy like assist target, and then so is Embiid, and yeah, it completely checks out. Yeah, Paul George, he's just gonna have the ball in his hands like way more. He's gonna be playing a role he's way more comfortable with, and the Kings are fucking ass at defense, so I like that stuff.
Yeah, they shrink and give up a heap of open threes, that's good for assists for the ball dominant guys.
Yeah. It's also I feel like the best thing for assists though is bad against pick and roll man, because just those shots are usually in the paint. Like those spot up threes, you can easily get hit with like 3 potentials or 12 potentials, 3 assists from
I think
game
the
to game.
Kings suck at it, pretty sure. Because when I was looking at Lively to fade Lively the other day, I remember I was like, "Fuck, why are they like 28th against it?"
Liam, do you get why Kings are so bad against pick and roll handlers? Has Sabonis been playing like a little bit deeper recently, or because
I like looking at the pull-up stats more than that. It sort of depends. And I also like looking at like last 5, 10 games to see if anything's changed
yeah,
because teams do change things. For instance, the Thunder, they aren't a juggernaut against the pick and roll like they used to be. Like
yeah,
some games, yes, against like Edwards, yes, but against Van Vliet the other day, they just let him shoot anything coming off screens. Against Hero, they didn't really blitz him off screens either. Um, it sort of depends with them now. So I like looking at last 5, 10 games, and Sabonis isn't always up to the level. He's sometimes in drop. It's more so it's good to fade really ball dominant guys against the Kings when you know it's sort of in situations when the other team has only one like big guy, like
Mhm.
one star. So Booker against the Kings when they had no KD, no Beal,
Yeah, that was
his
so obvious.
unders were really good because they just were super aggressive against him. Also important to add though, they got a new coach, so that could change things. That's an unknown.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Yeah, I feel like most of the scheme stuff is like what I've had success with is like most of the scheme stuff is like common sense, right? Like even if like you see like really bad against pick and roll handlers, if it's such an obvious situation to not play drop, teams won't play drop because it's like it's common sense shit, right? Like these coaches are like the smartest basketball minds in the world. Like they're not gonna play drop against Luka Doncic with Kyrie out, like even if they're a drop
Yeah.
team. Like, you just don't fucking do that. So
Yeah, like last 10 games, Sacramento allowed the ninth most pull ups per game.
okay.
And last 10 games, OKC aren't in the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Well, they're 14. They're middle of the pack for pull ups allowed. So it shows like that's why props madness, it's fantastic and it's so good. But like just purely looking at like how teams are against the pick and roll, it's there's more nuance to it than that.
100%. 100%, bro. Couldn't agree more. Let's see. Brooklyn at Toronto. I wonder if Ben Simmons' assist might be a little bit worse because D'Lo is going to come in. I really do think that D'Lo probably comes in and plays the bench, though, off the bench in the first game. Wouldn't shock me at all.
Cam Johnson up to 23.5, reverse line movement.
Just at DraftKings.
Oh.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to touch on? I guess we could go to last thing. I just want to quick go back to Atlanta versus Denver because I think that both teams are pretty easy scheme things, and then we'll let you go, Liam. So yeah, we're on Jalen Johnson. Me and you are both on Jalen. Is Dyson questionable?
He's
No,
playing.
He's playing. Okay, good stuff.
Well, he's probable.
Okay, so that's Jamal Murray unders actually makes sense. He's been playing really good.
Yeah, I did look at that actually.
23 and a half line for Jamal. He's going under, bro. I don't care what they say about the pick and roll handler. Dyson's gonna guard him. And one thing I noticed about Dyson is he'll stagger minutes with like the opposing person who he's guarding.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, dude. Ozzy, I'm playing, bro. Jamal Murray is so bad at self creation, bro. Like he needs like some like Jokic to fucking like baby the shit out of him to like get open. Let's see. with Jokic. I guess you could do it without Gordon too. Maybe it's like, but Aaron Gordon doesn't affect his scoring really. I don't think.
Do Michael Porter Jr. That's probably
Yeah,
more.
but I don't think he's really missing.
Actually, do interesting. Uh, there's now the wrinkle that Westbrook starts. So let me take a look at per numbers with Westbrook on the floor. See what happens.
Dude, I don't even think
Because I feel like,
personally, dude, I think I'm already sold up. And it's 23.5, bro, at a lot of places. And
yeah, no,
it's
it is high. I was
everyone
looking at that. I just
Caesar.
couldn't get around it because the only thing I'm scared about and why I didn't play it is last game Jokic played against them. He scored like 48, and I know Murray didn't play, and I'm worried about what if Quinn Snyder's like, fuck, we're not letting Jokic score 48 again.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
and then they just on pick and rolls, they just take away Jokic and force Murray to beat him. That's the only thing I'm scared about. But yeah, I definitely lean under.
my reasoning though behind that is I don't think Murray can beat beat Dyson. And I'm like so serious when I say that, bro. Like Murray is not like, dude, if Murray's isolating against Daniels and gets like he like I don't think he's gonna shoot a good percentage at all. Like personally, I really don't.
Mm.
Like
No,
I know
I agree.
I know
Also,
like
I just looked it up. He has a 2% less usage with Westbrook on the floor.
okay, perfect. Let's do that. I'm locking that in. That's gonna let's see, what's the best line? 365. And then you could okay. So 365 Caesars prop builder, ESPN bet, pretty widely available. I think that another sneaky edge, I don't know. I think he might just be
But
gassed, bro.
the more I think about it, the more I actually want to lock it in as well.
Dude, because
It is high.
Dyson will also pick him up full court, I bet. And Murray's like he just like gasses out, bro. He's in like terrible shape.
Yeah,
And
do
like
you
yeah,
remember wait, was it Murray? There was a team in the playoffs that would pick him up full court and he'd just be far.
it was
Was that?
Minnesota. Minnesota.
Yeah, was it? Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
McDaniels, I remember. Yeah, I do remember that.
If I don't know what
That's
I'm trying
funny.
to find what the best next pivot is if for like the FanDuel people or in DraftKings, I guess. What would you say? Assists?
Um, what is it like for people that don't have 23.5?
Yeah.
Uh,
Let's see.
pretty widely available.
Yeah. I would just do PRA under at 34.5 because I just think that Dyson just might take him out of like complete rhythm on offense. And like it might
I'd probably go
because
PA.
especially if Westbrook starts, then like he might not even play on ball that much.
Actually, I'd definitely play PA.
Let's see. And yeah, you can get a 30.5 at FanDuel. Yep. Okay, cool. I agree. I'm gonna send out that though. So okay, guys, my fourth and final play is gonna be or third and final play of this
Jamie
is
8 said, thoughts on Capella, RA over 10.5. The Nuggets seem to give away a lot of assists to centers, maybe even PRA over 20.5. Happy New Year, by the way. Happy
yeah.
New Year to you too, mate.
Similarly to Jalen
Um,
Johnson, I think you can make a good argument for Capella.
uh, I don't know about that one.
Onyeka's back. I don't did Onyeka.
Yeah, but they always split minutes. I mean, yeah, big is against Jokic, I guess, but I don't. I'd only bet Capella PRA sort of on a minutes basis, if you get what I mean, because he's
Mhm.
not involved in the play that much. But yeah, I do. I guess you could go the angle of with Jokic up at the level and the pick and roll on the short roll to Capella. He can play make off the
Mhm.
short roll, but
Mhm.
I don't know.
Canada.
I don't have a lean on that personally. I don't know about you, Ty.
I think it makes sense because Onyeka's kind of short, kind of small. Um, I think it makes sense to like skew a little heavy for Capella minutes in comparison to Onyeka just for the Jokic assignment. But I don't know. That's just me. I
Yeah.
could be wrong. Okay. Is there any other one last thought you have on this game, Liam?
I think Jalen Johnson will score 25 points.
I do too. I hope so.
I just look at it and think, who the fuck's guarding him? That sort of thing. Like, I think he'll be able to get to the rim at will. That's why I like it so much. I don't really have any other thoughts on this game other than I mean, you can be like a game log warrior and look at a Kongwu's game logs and think, fuck, that's going to be pretty good against DeAndre Jordan. But he didn't play the best minutes in his return, so I'd leave that one.
Oh, no, that actually is a solid edge, bro. DeAndre Jordan, like the DJ minutes, you can easily exploit those.
Just 18 minutes. Oh, he was a blowout. I'm going to say just 18 minutes last game, but it was a blowout. But also, he's a bench guy, so he plays a bit more in a blowout.
Yeah. Okay, well, Liam, we appreciate you joining, staying up late for us. Hey, Dammy8, Happy New Year's. 2025 is going to be a great year. Yes. And yeah, okay. Me and Liam, Ozzy, I'd like to do this a few more times. I think this is good. Like I'm totally awake now. I feel good. I don't know about you. You can see, like, obviously it's like super late for you, super early for me, so it's like not ideal. But I do think a couple times a week would be good.
Yeah, sure, I'll be down. I just haven't done any streams or content because I've been trying to get the results back on track because it hasn't been a good season. But yeah, that started to shift a bit more in my favor. So I'm feeling a lot more comfortable about where I'm at in terms of process and all that sort of shit. So yeah, I'll be more than happy to do this 2 or 3 times a week. Yeah, so it's not that late for me. It's like 12:30, which for a lot of people, I know, like Pips, he has to stay up till like 4 to watch the basketball each night. So I probably shouldn't be complaining about having to stay up till 12:30 2 times a week.
Yeah, and I shouldn't be complaining about having to wake up at 6 o'clock. I mean, that's like what pretty much everyone does, like at some point in their life.
Wake up time.
Yeah. Okay, guys, before we head out, let's quick recap the plays. Cam Johnson under 22.5 points was Liam's first play. Let's quick see what the best available line on that one is now. Best available.
DraftKings 23.5, isn't
it? Yeah, if you have DraftKings, that's obviously the best. You can get a 23.5 minus 120, but 22.
Well, actually, that's really good because it's juiced to the under at the other books.
Yeah, and then minus 115, 365 in ESPN, 116 FanDuel is your best price. Next prop Liam gave out was Hero under 25.5 points. This one is like definitely like a line that should be at 23.5, 22.5. I think that this is a great one. Best available.
One of my best bets for tomorrow, I'd say.
Yeah, this one has moved a little bit since we started the stream, but minus 125 at DraftKings, minus 125 at ESPN, 130 MGM, and then 135 at 365. And then let's see, Jalen Johnson over 19.5 points. Me and Liam, I tailed Liam on this one. He sold me on this one. And since it's an over, like my pussy ass is like, oh yeah, over. Let's go, baby. So yeah, best available price on this one is Prop Builder minus 123, DraftKings minus 125, MGM. I know that FanDuel minus 125. So basically just minus 125 is where most books are at.
That's changed. When I gave it out, that was a lot less.
Yeah. I gave out PG over 30.5 PRA. That was really recently. So, I mean, line should be the same, I would assume.
Pandemic P.
Hopefully Pandemic P doesn't come out tonight. Yeah, minus 110 DraftKings, widely available. Good prices there.
He gets memed so much. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. It's because he does a podcast.
Podcast fee.
And then the last play I gave out literally a couple minutes ago was Jamal Murray under 23.5 points, 115 bet 365, 121 Caesars, ESPN minus 125, 128 Prop Builder. And then if you guys need FanDuel, because I totally get it if you do, I would go to PA 30.5 minus 125 for that one. So, all right, Liam, we appreciate you having on. Excited to start doing this a little bit more consistently with you. And I know you need a good night's sleep. And viewers, I know it's kind of a weird time. It's either early as hell or late as hell, but there's 672 of you guys, and we greatly, greatly appreciate you guys for tuning in. So,
did you say 672?
Yep, 674. 670 are on Twitter, and 4 of them are on YouTube.
A lot of people. Yeah. Kindness asked, what's the main takeaway from JJ 19.5? I'll go over it real quick.
Yeah.
It's his one-on-one matchup. He gets most of his stuff in the paint, and his one-on-one matchup here is Michael Porter Jr., who I don't think he has a functional back. So he's his lateral movement's not good, and he's a terrible defensive guy. So he's going to be able to get whatever he wants in the paint. Plus, Jokic is like best player in the NBA. You could argue one of the worst rim protecting centers in the NBA that gets minutes. So he'll be able to get whatever he wants in the paint. Over an 8 of 12 against teams who rank 20th to 30th at 11 points in the paint with Trey. Um, this is one of the ones where like I actually didn't use as much like the advanced numbers as I usually do, and I sort of went off feel and thought, all right, like who the fuck is stopping Jalen Johnson here from getting to the paint and scoring in the paint? That's sort of why I like it so much.
Yep. No, Aaron Gordon is massive because Aaron Gordon would be a
Yeah,
perfect
that's big.
cipher. And also Trae Young,
That's
he's
really big.
Trae Young's scorings fell off anyways. He's over in last 18 out of 26 with Trae Young. Also, Denver really bad in transition too. So just, I mean, this line should be 22 and 21 and a half for sure.
And Trey, they'll get the ball out of Trey's hands with Jokic coming to the level in the pick and roll, which is good for all the guys on the court with Trey at the time.
Yep, for sure. All right, Liam, let's let you go. You need your beauty sleep.
Yeah, I need to hit the hay, mate.
Yep, Con, we appreciate you. Appreciate you for commenting too. Commenting means a lot for both of us. So
cheers, Con.
Yep. All right. You guys have a great 2025. We appreciate you guys for joining, and peace out.